Hello everyone, it's Questquenchers here today, and I want to talk about Dragon Age Veilguard. I keep hovering around, should I get it, should I not get it? Mainly because it just looks so different from the other Dragon Age games. I'm seeing a lot about its combat, it looks incredibly floaty, and it's very like particle effect, heavy intensity, flashing lights in your face kind of thing. And I'm not kind of that about that. It feels more like an MMO RPG kind of thing with all the specialized flashy stuff, and it just irks me the wrong way. It feels like it probably was at a time going to be a massively online sort of kind of thing, and it really shows with its sort of design and stuff. Whereas I've always liked kind of Dragon Age for its gritty sort of, down to earth, not too flashy kind of movements, like Dragon Age Origins. It felt just right. They got like some flashy stuff, but at the same time, it felt like, yeah, human beings are doing this with magical and stuff like that. And then Dragon Age 2 was a bit more flashier, more stylized, which I kind of liked. I liked the speed of it, to be honest. It was more like, oh yeah, this is pretty cool, and a bit flashy. But when it comes to like, I think Inquisition got it right with its sort of weight, with its two-handed weapons. I felt like I was swinging a two-handed weapon as well as sword and shield and stuff. It felt nice. But when it comes to like this Veilguard, it looks pretty like I'm just running around with like a hammer full of fluff, but it does a lot of damage, and I can swing it around all I like and all that stuff. And it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't look right either. And then the sort of graphics that it looks, it's an art style that I kind of was thinking about like when I finally like make my games or something like that. But looking at it more, I don't think it would work. Like it's not like it's sort of not Disney-esque, but it's like Pixar-y kind of weirdness. The heads are too big, annoyingly. It's just like the proportions a little bit off. The art style seems a bit, I don't know. Just, I don't kind of like it, which is annoying. And then we come to like the, I think people call it like wokeness and stuff. I don't want it to be in my face, but you wouldn't know until you play it. Like in Baldur's Gate, there's apparently like a bunch of woke stuff, and they talk all about that. But apparently, you have to really like dig for it, kind of thing. Whereas I never encountered that really. So I think that's pretty cool in itself. Like you get the experience you're after. So, but as I feel like you should keep your worlds a fantasy world and not. The whole point of entertainment is to take you out of our reality and put it into an interesting reality that's different, has different cultural and sort of things, instead of adding stuff from our world to their world. It makes it less interesting to me. It's like, oh, it's becoming mundane. It's becoming like our world, and I feel like that's just not what entertainment's meant to be, and that's what annoys me rather than the actual politics, whatever, or agendas. It's just like I don't want it in my games. If I want to engage with it, I'll engage it within our world, because that's where it matters. Whereas if it's in my games, I could just play as a Grey Warden, just killing some darkspawn, kind of thing. That's what we play games for, just for the break from reality. But if you keep putting things from our reality in it, it's gonna be like annoying. It's gonna be like, no, this isn't far enough. I'm gonna not play your game. So that's where I'm kind of like at with Dragon Age. I like, the annoying part is I really like Dragon Age. I liked Dragon Age 1, I liked Dragon Age 2, and I like Dragon Age 3, Inquisition. And to see it sort of like fall off like this, you can't control party mates. Your team. And I was like, for beginning, I was like, oh, I never really do that. And then I sort of started playing back Dragon Age and Dragon Age 2 and Dragon Age 3. I was like, I did. I've always done this. This is how we do it. You swap to him if they're getting low health. You do things. So you're like, oh, I could use a boost. So you switch to like Solus and you get your little magical shield kind of thing. And it's just like, yeah, this is what I did. I did play as party mates. But like, it was like, it is for a short time, of course, because you always want to be your own guy. But yeah, it just seems like, oh, that's a shame to really lose that aspect of Dragon Age. As well as your party is down by one man. So it just seems like, oh, that's a bit of a shame, isn't it, really? It's not quite Dragon Age. So yeah, but looking at the story kind of wise, and the choices you made in previous games are no longer sort of being brought over into this. So it's a little bit like, Oh, so yeah, I know the games like span over like what is it, like 15 years, 12 years or something like that, and I understand that people have moved on and probably taken information with them and stuff like that, or or things have been deleted and removed. So in order to see all the choices, you have to play through the games, and they don't have time because they're making a game. But it just seems like that is like one of the aspects of BioWare games, that they span over such a long time, and all these choices are taken with you into the worlds that you play. And to have just like three choices in your, in a span of a like saga of games from the previous games is quite crazy, to be honest. Especially when you you BioWare, these games have your decisions go with you through each game, and to only have three decisions from Inquisition's DLC is quite insane for a BioWare game. That's what makes it really cool, especially about Dragon Age and Mass Effect, that your decisions go into the next one. Whereas I think what Dragon Age Veilguard is basically a reboot of the Dragon Age franchise, but I don't know if it's going to properly work out. I don't think it will. I think EA will be like, yeah, we've barely got any sales here, or oh, we didn't meet our expectations, so no, we're not going to continue with BioWare anymore. And to be honest, I think the people that have left, the people of value there, the writers and some of the big hitters and stuff from like Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2 and Dragon Age 3 have kind of left and gone. So it's like, oh, it's just a totally new BioWare. Now, like, I do really hope that, I just wish it would be a really good game, but something's telling me that it's going to be a strange game that's like not here or there, but like people are going to really dislike it because of the woke politics in it and agendas and stuff, as well as sort of like the character designs. There's like, people really like the games like, what do you call them? Stellar Blade, what's the other one? The First Descendant and stuff. I mean, really, is really enjoying the female aesthetics that they play and stuff like that. But even without that, as long as you have like really cool characters and stuff, and good dialogue. And the annoying part is I have seen good dialogue and bad dialogue with this game. So it's just like, what is the percentage of good dialogue versus bad dialogue and interactions? What is it? And it's just like, but the likelihood it's not going to be that well written if there's still bad dialogue in it. So it's just like, I don't know. It's like, yeah, like, the characters don't look that great, but at the same time, they don't need to look that great because they're living in such a strange world full of magic and stuff. It's, you value more of their, abilities and probably attitude towards problems. But yeah, it's just like not looking good for the writing team and stuff like that, as well as a lot of plays in my head. Like, BioWare's lost incredibly some really good talent over the years and stuff like that, so I feel like it's going to influence this game so bad. Are you going to be able to tell? And just mechanic wise, like, tiny A button to jump and to activate seems a bit strange, whereas I'd rather strike out with a weapon than to jump and accidentally fall off something. So why not make the interact button like an X or something, like the X button or B button? So it's like, it's a strange one, a lot of like questionable sort of design kind of thing. But I do think, I think some people will really like it because that's, they've been Dragon Age fans for a long time, and having something Dragon Age will be nice. But then I think at the same time, there will be fans that play this and be like, what the hell was this? I've played 7 hours. I can't get a refund. It was 50 quid. And they'll be very annoyed. And that's like, it's just, I'm frustrated because I am one of those fans that see this and go, this doesn't feel like Dragon Age. I've watched the gameplay. It's floaty. It's, it's weird. It does seem like looking at it more, that it is designed for the rogue class to be the main class, but I don't like playing rogue. I like sword and board. So yeah, it's just like, why? It just seems like they focused on one kind of narrative and then sort of branched off from it, and one class kind of thing, and everything's just like not tacked on, but not as thought out as the rogue one. So overall, I'm not optimistic about the game. I'll probably see if I can get it through my Nvidia, what do you call it, like ultimate thing, rather than paying BioWare properly. not BioWare properly, but like, what they've done, I don't particularly agree with. Mixing up our reality with their reality and putting in those kind of politics and stuff. just the kind of agendas and stuff like that. I think they need to, you know, make that world and make our world as our world, because that's where like people are going wrong with in entertainment. They're mixing our world and the fantasy worlds and all that stuff together, when actually no, that wouldn't occur in that world because of this, that, and the other. There's not enough for a society to get to that point and you know, and have those kind of questions. Because like when you're surrounded by monsters and the blight and all that stuff, the last thing you're going to be doing is questioning your gender or anything like that. It doesn't make sense within that world. And if you want to transform your gender or be a different gender, you could just use magic, because there's the Black Emporium, there's different kinds of magic and all that stuff. So it's just like, it doesn't particularly work for me that people are, you know, having surgeries and stuff, whereas there's magic. There's a different kind of magic to change how the way you look and stuff like that. So it's like, why do it our way, you know, our real world kind of way, when you could do it the magic way? Just do it the magic way. You're like, oh, people can't afford it. It's like, yeah, they find a way. You know, they always do. And the magic route is probably the way easiest. Just find a mage and, hey, I want to be like this, and stuff like that, or go to one of the mirrors. You know, it's just like there is that. So I feel like it's not working. It's making the reality crumble and the suspense of disbelief, which is annoying, and I don't like that. So yeah, that's all from me. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys. That's my kind of 2 cents on Dragon Age Veilguard, and how I'm, you know, not really looking forward to it, but I do want to play it just to see how the quests, how the story sort of concludes, but I'm not very optimistic. Right, that's all from me. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.